The subtitle for this talk is A Cautionary Tale. The road from Cuernavaca, Mexico to the small village of Xoxocotla begins as a 4-lane expressway. It then turns into a 2-lane highway, and after a while dwindles into a dirt road that is traveled by vehicles, bicycles, and burros. You take the road into the village of Xoxocotla, and on the left is an elementary school. It is a building that is as spare and as dry and as dusty as you would imagine a building might be in the high deserts of the state of Morelos in the country of Mexico. I was traveling the road from Cuernavaca to Xoxocotla with 4 other faculty and administrators from Indiana University who had come for the express purpose of providing service to the village elementary school in Xoxocotla. We had in our car a pile of books, a pile of toys, some games, some clothes, and a pile of wonderful intentions that we were going to do wonders to improve the lives of the children in this small village. We arrived at the school, pulled up to the gate, knocked on the gate. There was no answer. We knocked again. There was no answer. Finally, somebody came, let us into the gate, and walked us to the principal's office, which was, shall we say, rather undecorated. There was a desk, and that was about it. The principal was there and greeted us very politely. We did have a translator, although their native language is actually not Spanish. It would be their indigenous language. But we did have a translator to talk with them. And he knew we were coming, and we explained what we were there for, and we explained what we had. And he sat there and he looked at us. And he looked at us. And then he kind of looked up and looked around. And finally he came out of his reverie and told us, well, thank you very much, but we are really not in need of what you have. And the 5 of us looked at each other and said, ooh, there goes 3 months of planning and a nice, cool, air-conditioned room in Indianapolis. What are we going to do now? And we talked with him. And while we were talking with him, he showed us around the school, the spare classrooms, the dirt courtyard that served as a playground. And at the end of the tour, he looked at us and he said, please don't misunderstand me, through the translator. We appreciate what you want to do, but we are not able to accept your gifts, because your gifts are troublesome for us. Your gifts bring to us a sense of not assault, but a threat to our community pride, our community dignity, our community independence, and our community integrity. We would love to have you work with us, but please, please, next time, come and talk with us before you decide what it is we should be doing. He said, please, I know that in Cuernavaca there are children who will be delighted to have what you have brought, but what we want you to bring are people, and people who care about our children, and people who care about the school. We said thank you. We got back in the car, got back on the dusty road, which turned into the 2-lane highway, which turned into the 4-lane expressway. And if a car could ever have its tail between its legs, ours did. We talked about it, how we were humbled, how we were surprised, how we were a little hurt. But then we began to think, no, no, no. What we have done is we have engaged in a key and vital part of what service learning is. Service learning involves everyone working together, determining what is best, but most especially it involves the people for whom any service is being tendered. Once we worked with the principal, talked with the principal, spoke with the school, we had 3 of the most wonderful weeks working with this school you could ever possibly imagine. And what I walked away with it, and what I'd really like to share with you as I bring this story to a close, is that, like all good teaching, service learning needs to be culturally responsive, it needs to be culturally respectable, and it needs to rely and respect on the hearts and minds of those who are involved. Because if your teaching is not culturally responsive, if it does not concern itself with the hearts and minds of those with whom you are working, then what it lacks is the most important thing of all. It lacks its soul. Thank you very much.